That's it. We're live. Good morning. Good morning. We are Cosmin, Pojoranu, and Dona Dzambaska, and we are happy to welcome you, unreasonable men and women, to the 6th edition of the Personal Democracy Forum. Indeed, you are all unreasonable because, as the saying goes, the reasonable people adapt themselves to the world, but it is the unreasonable ones who persist in trying to adapt the world to themselves. And this is why all progress depends on the unreasonable folks. We live in a world in which the current political events are a constant reminder that democracies can legitimize illiberal leaders, that majorities can elect tyrants. When we fight for democracy, we should remember that it is a dish best served with liberalism, because it was classical liberalism that brought us parliaments, rights and liberties, free markets, innovation, but also the welfare state and social democracy. All those things that we fight to preserve every day.
This year, we will be discussing how together we can build a future for all. Technology disrupts classical structures, so the challenge for civic tech experts remains to foster inclusion and to use their civic powers to influence the future with positive visions, to anticipate and not only to react to this rapidly changing world. This year, we will focus our discussions on 3 different streams of thought. The first stream will be on dignity. It will be about us as individuals. It will be about putting personal in Personal Democracy Forum and about everything that goes beyond all the sexy technology.
Next up will be the solidarity stream, and it is a powerful one, inspired by the filter bubbles that captivate us so much, but which are so hard to escape. Let us take a moment and admit that the struggle for a fair, open, and trustworthy society is real, that we do try, but we also do fail, and let us forgive ourselves for that.
And the last stream will be on fairness, and it will be about institutions, because no matter what kind of future awaits us, there will be institutions in it. But how will we manage their complexity, and how will the justice system function? Those are some of the thought-provoking questions that will be answered by our speakers.
We would like to start by thanking the City of Gdańsk and the European Solidarity Center, the hosts, co-organizers, and invaluable supporters of Personal Democracy Forum 2018. We are grateful for the support of our wonderful sponsors who made this event possible, the Omidyar Network and the International Visegrad Fund. Many thanks go out to our partners, Fair Play Alliance, K-Monitor, Kochowoli.eu, Teplica, Technologies for Social Good, Open Contracting Partnership, Transparency International Ukraine, and Digital Communication Network.
And of course, a huge thank you goes to our media partners that helped us amplify the reach of this event and who will contribute tomorrow with a panel in the morning. So, thank you, Dziennik Gazeta Prawna, Gazeta Wyborcza, TOK FM, Forsal.pl, and Dziennik.pl. The Personal Democracy Forum is organized by the ePaństwo Foundation, who has been opening Polish government data for over 7 years now, and by the TransparenCEE Network, which brings together 86 government transparency and accountability organizations in 25 countries in Central and Eastern Europe.
Some of you may have attended yesterday's satellite event on open government and public spending. For those who haven't been there, you must know that the event was organized by the ePaństwo Foundation together with the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, the Open Contracting Partnership, and Transparency International Ukraine.
The event attracted many representatives of municipalities and other public institutions, including the European Commission. We also had representatives of CSOs that find transparency of the public procurement process an essential aspect in their fight with anti-corruption. This goes to prove how multi-stakeholder events speak about the strong impact that civic tech activists have on policy matters and their practical implementation.
And now let's get ready for our first speaker of the day. Have you noticed that power is shifting from central authorities to local ones? Cities that are agile, open, and smart enough to attract top citizens are a good example of a future for all. In a country which seems to embrace the illiberal part of democracy in the last years, Gdańsk is a bastion of resistance and, honestly, a model of development that I'm eager to implement in my hometown of Bucharest.
So please welcome a long-term supporter of PDF and the first public official in Poland who implemented open data policy in his office, the mayor of the city of Gdańsk, Mr. Paweł Adamowicz.
Good morning, everybody, dear friends. I'm very happy and proud to welcome you in Gdańsk, in the European Solidarity Center. The building we are in commemorates Poland's fight for the better future, for the better future for all. Not a very long time ago, Poland was not a free country. 30, 40 years ago, we had to fight for our future. Trade union Solidarność, which was born in Gdańsk shipyard, united our society not only against communism. It had 21 demands to build free, inclusive Poland. Among demands, there were not only demands of political freedom, free press, freedom of social and political activity. Big part of demands were related to economy, to the quality of living, rise of salaries, fair pensions, work-free Saturdays, economy working for the people, not for the elite. Solidarity somehow anticipated the hottest topics of today's public debate: social and economic inequalities, role of people we'll call today as the 1%. The movement, which united workers and intellectuals, had a great sensitivity to issues important to the society. Then, in the end of the 80s, the communists fell down. Democracy started. It was such a great enthusiasm. Almost everybody thought the future was bright. The future was for all. Many people believed in the end of history, but history never ends. New challenges arise constantly. New tensions appear. One of the greatest challenges of our times is to ensure inclusive future for all. The future which is inclusive in many different ways. How should we ensure sustainable growth of global economy? What to do with the job market when technology takes more and more jobs? How to answer fears of people afraid of immigrants and refugees? How to unite in one society people of conservative and liberal views? How to deal with modern populism which skillfully mastered in internet technology, use of social media for manipulating societies. You, people who arrive to city of Gdańsk from many countries, are among the best to find the answers to these questions. You have a great track record of work for your societies. Many of you have experience of opposing political regimes in your countries. This year's Personal Democracy Forum has a really great agenda. Many people of different backgrounds accepted the invitation to arrive in Gdańsk and take part in discussions. I'm very grateful you came to our people. I wish you a great time in Gdańsk, shaping future for all. No doubt there will be 2 days of great discussions, but my city is also a great place to have some fun. Visit Old Town, walk along Motlava River, meet local people, have a fun, because fun is a part of our human being. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Adamowicz. We would now like to invite Mr. Basil Kerski to give his welcoming speech. Mr. Kerski is the director of the European Solidarity Center an editor-in-chief of the journal Dialogue, and a contributor to Przegląd Polityczny. He's an author of more than 20 books in Polish, German, and Ukrainian, analyzing history and politics. During his academic career, Mr. Basil Kerski was a guest at many prestigious universities in Europe and the US, and has received many awards and distinctions.
Please welcome Mr. Basil Kerski.
Thank you. Dear participants of the forum, dear Mr. Mayor Adamowicz, dear Roche, welcome once more in Gdańsk. Yes, welcome to the European Solidarity Center. I would say yes, it is a place created to revive the spirit of solidarity, not only Solidarność, not only a place of commemorating these special events that took place here, that created a new political order, not only in Poland, but in Central and Eastern Europe. But I would say the main challenge for our institution today is, and it's a big one, is to revive, to think about how to revive the spirit of solidarity. I would say in a very individual world, or world of many individuals, sometimes I would say even narcissistic societies. But okay, we are facing this main challenge, and to re-establish once more a spirit of solidarity, not only in nations and closed societies, but especially a transnational, between societies. This spirit, I think, is a guarantee for the further development of open societies and of democracy. People are entitled to all rights and freedoms without distinction of any kind. I found this quote from the Declaration of Human Rights in this year's Personal Democracy Forum agenda. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights was created in 1948 as a humanistic response to the violence of two totalitarian regimes, as a response to the World War. Unfortunately, the importance of the declaration and its relevance grows today with every coming day, not only in those parts of the world which are not democratic. It's not a coincidence that fragments of the same document can be found on the permanent exhibition of the European Solidarity Center. So the heart of this building is not only this auditorium, this place for our debate, but on the opposite, you find one of the biggest permanent exhibitions created not only by historians, created also by civic engaged people, to commemorate not only the birth of Solidarność, but to show that young people in the 70s, 80s, created an alternative society founded on the values of the declaration, not only in Poland, in all Central and Eastern Europe. It became a revolution, a peaceful revolution in '89 in Poland. In other countries, it was 1990, 1991. And in this time, all these people, all these engaged individuals, independent people, created a new political and democratic order, not only of Central Europe, but also of our whole continent. At this moment, we cannot ignore, as Europeans and as members of the democratic community, the threats to the values that are symbolized by the declaration, but are also symbolized by this house, by also our permanent exhibition. We are all aware that democracy is fragile, it cannot be taken for granted, and that solidarity today means that we have to leave our comfort zones and take responsibility for our common democratic future. We have to face xenophobic and egoistic voices that are getting stronger and even knocking to our door. That is also why this institution, the European Solidarity Center, was created. Ladies and gentlemen, dear guests of the Personal Democracy Forum, welcome once more in our house. Enjoy the spirit of freedom and solidarity, and let us peaceful, but also full of joy, create future, not only for us, but to all of us. Thank you very much, and I wish you yes, very pleasant stay here, a lot of inspiring discussions, and yes, and a new spirit of solidarity. Thank you very much.
Imagine. Okay, you go.
Thank you, Mr. Kerski. Our next introduction is from Andrew Rasiej, the father and everlasting supporter of Personal Democracy Forum and Civic Hall as well. He's the co-founder of the Civic Hall Labs, the founder of Mouse.org, and the chairman of the New York Tech Alliance.
Please welcome Mr. Andrew Rasiej.
Here before. Okay, those of you who are here before, let's give those who came to join us a big hand. Welcome. Okay, so those of you who have been here before have heard this speech, so you can go back to sleep or checking your email. And those of you who have here for the first time, listen carefully. Personal Democracy Forum started 15 years ago on the idea of bringing people together who are interested in technology, politics, and civil society. We have done events, not only 15 in New York, by the way, the US version will be coming up in June 7th and 8th. We welcome you to New York. But we've done satellite events in Barcelona, in Santiago, Chile, in Paris, in Rome. I understand there's now one that started in Kiev. And so what I'm trying to explain to you is that you're part of a global community of people who are interested in transformation of society through the use of connection, through the use of technology, with the principles of humanity built in as part of the DNA. Now, as members of this community, it's important for you to also understand that you have certain responsibilities, and those responsibilities are to understand the differences between technology that is used for good and technology that is used for bad. And I'm going to give you a couple of quick examples of ways of describing it. How many of you have heard the term civic tech? And how many of you have heard the term gov tech? And how many of you have heard the term smart city tech? Okay. They're related, but they're very different, and it's important to know the distinction. And the reason why is as follows. Civic tech is any technology that's for the public good. It cannot be used for any negative purpose. It's open for everyone to use, and it's transparent, accessible, and it solves problems in measurable, demonstrable, and accountable ways. Gov tech is often intended for the public good, but depending upon who's in power, may not be for the public good. So for example, in the United States, we have a company called Palantir, which currently is working for the Department of Homeland Security, building a database which will identify where 11 million undocumented people are hiding in the United States. This is not civic tech. Or smart city tech. It's going to be wonderful. As soon as I'm ready to leave this beautiful Solidarity Center, my car will be waiting for me, and the meal that I would most want to eat will be waiting for me at my hotel. Wonderful idea. Great. As I travel through the city, smart cities are going to make it more efficient, more economically, environmentally healthy. All great. Except, who's collecting this data? What accountability does the public have over this data? What transparency is there in the systems that are being designed? These questions are important because if we don't make sure that empathy and equity is built into the systems that we talk about and we hope for the future, then we are going to fail. And that's why we created Personal Democracy Forum, to bring you together so that you can meet and collaborate and work towards a better future. And towards that future, I have three small pieces of advice about what to do. First, resist bad. Fight bad. Meaning, fight bad politicians, fight bad technology, fight bad ideas. If you don't fight, unfortunately, those ideas will travel over these same networks and grow. Second, foster collaboration. Introduce people to each other. People will solve the problems of the future through meeting each other in communities, not through political parties, not from the top down, but literally meeting each other face to face. And third, invent new systems. Don't make believe that somehow we're going to eventually use these technologies to fix our democracy, to fix our politics. It's not possible. Henry Ford once said, if I asked people what they wanted, they would have said faster horses. Buckminster Fuller said, if you have a system that doesn't work, don't try to fix it, invent something new. We brought Personal Democracy Forum into the world so that the future can be built by you. Build something new, stay connected, tell other people about Personal Democracy Forum, and see you wherever we can to make a better world. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Andrew. We have one more quick talk for this morning, and it's from representatives from the TransparenCEE Network. So please welcome Luna Kalash from Techsoup Europe, Krzysztof Izdebski from ePaństwo Foundation, Darko Brkan from Zašto, Sandor Lederer and Orsi Barsi from K-Monitor, and Yuri Kurunji from Opora.
But before you start talking, and please hold your claps a bit, because we'd like to take this opportunity to congratulate. Where is he?
Where is Shandor?
Shandor, yeah. I want to congratulate Shandor. Has anybody seen Shandor?
Yeah, I've seen him like 5 seconds ago after he was after.
Okay,
I'll find him.
Okay, Hungarians.
I'm not speaking until Shandor comes back.
Shandor, we want to congratulate you.
You don't even know why we're congratulating him for, so we'd like to thank you, Shandor, Cosmin, for your achievement, because recently you became a fellow with the Obama Foundation. Wow, that's really impressive. And you're one of the TransparenCEE leaders, and your success basically motivates the whole network to carry on, so
congratulations.
Yeah?
Hi, everybody, and on behalf of TransparenCEE and these fine organizations, I wish you a warm welcome to this year's PDF. I heard that this is the shortest speech in history of speeches, so let me get on with it and try to explain what is TransparenCEE in less than a minute. TransparenCEE is a community of organizations, coders, IT professionals, and media who work with technology on bolstering transparency and accountability and good governance in Central and Eastern Europe. The board of this network is what you see here, but the idea is much bigger than all of us here. In the last 2 or 3 years, we've been, among other things, trying to identify who in this region is working on civic technology and what can they share with others. And we have identified over 100 amazing initiatives that can be scaled and replicated across the region. So this is what TransparenCEE does. It's basically offering a safety net and an umbrella for organizations to share the knowledge, share the technology, and basically amplify their own missions in this way. For another sneak peek in TransparenCEE, tomorrow we have a workshop in the afternoon. So if you're interested, come and see what we do and join this family.
So, thank you, Luna. Now it's time for my minute. And ever since I was invited to say a few words in the opening, which was actually last night at the party, I've been trying to think of what to say and not to sound too depressing. And like, you know, the only thing that I have to say is that, like, you know, basically the Balkans organizations kind of joined TransparenCEE for the reason of kind of trying to get closer to Europe as soon as possible, and it seems that it's been the other way around. Like, you know, Europe is getting closer to us. But enough of politics, because they told me not to talk about politics this morning. Actually, the good thing is that actually yesterday, us from the Balkans were looking at all of you from the EU using your mobiles, like, you know, because this is the first year the PDF has the EU without roaming thing, and like we were struggling with the Wi-Fi, so I saw the benefit of actually being here. I went and bought a Polish SIM card, and that was my contribution to this getting together of us. And another way to be serious at the end is actually there are these ways of getting together. One is here at PDF, and the next opportunity is the Point Conference in Sarajevo that will happen from 17th to 19th of May. And I know that some of the people here from the audience will be there, so I would like to welcome all of you also to Sarajevo for the continuation of this journey of getting all of us together and potentially the other way around, not that we are moving at the moment. Thank you.
Thank you, Darko. So it's clapping for Darko. So it's my turn to say the last words in the name of TransparenCEE Network and in the name of ePaństwo Foundation, the main organizer of the forum. And the first thing I want you to remember that you're not the audience, you are participants. And that's why we're thinking about you as the people that might change the world, not maybe bringing Europe to Balkans, but bringing Balkans and Europe to future for all. And this is what we do care during this conference particularly. We want to make the future for all based on the values that were described in the Declaration of Human Rights, the Human Rights Declaration, so the dignity, solidarity and fairness. This is the civic part of what we're doing, but of course technology is very important, and we don't want anyone, including you guys just watching in your computers, to be excluded because of usage of technology and because of not using the technology. So like these 2 days we will devote for like a lot of civic stuff, but also a tech stuff. But what I must underline again, you participants, it's up to you how this event will be taken over, how we will have a good time and not stress us organizers. So I ask you kindly to be on time. But what I really want to tell you that this is not only like an event. This is not an event for making an event. This is the community. You can see the community on the stage. You have the people from every angle of Central and Eastern Europe, and those people are working in the field. We're working on the field. We're doing projects together. So do networking, do participate in talking with others, connect with others, and change the world. Thank you.